Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 22. It is time to start our 2009 season with Marco Melandri on board the Kawasaki. Round 1 starts here in the Qatar GP. So here we are then, round 1 here in Qatar, in pole position with Marco Melandri. Let's go! Kawasaki. Don't see these in MotoGP, of course, so this one's going to be really important, and we've had a terrible start. Now, of course, for this championship, I will be running power setting 1 only, and without any electronics at all, to really add to the challenge, and to add to the challenge as well, which is even more important, actually, than any of the other parts, really. I'm using the DualSense controller. Yes, if you've seen my videos recently, you know I've been going on about this a lot, but I have changed over controller, so this feels pretty strange, and I noticed a big issue with the triggers here in MotoGP. It wasn't too bad with Ride 4, but here in MotoGP it is a pain. As we dive up on the inside, Lorenzo, we take the lead temporarily. The man with the Barcelona livery is leading the way, so great job for the number 99, Jorge Lorenzo, in the lead. And of course, guys, if you're going to be enjoying this series, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I can assure you this is going to have some great competitive racing, I 100% assure you. But the DualSense control unfortunately has a small issue. Now, when I bring on the power, everything seems fine, but as I get halfway down the controller's trigger, it goes full. So it's really hard for me to describe this, but pressing halfway on the right trigger equals full in the game. So when I actually continue to bring on the acceleration even more, nothing happens. It's just full acceleration. So I'm really trying to tweak it now and to get used to the fact that 100% of the controller is not to be used. It's literally only 50% of the trigger that actually works, because the other 50% just equals one input, which is completely full. So this is going to be challenging. I think I'm going to burn up the tyres a lot, and I think I'm going to struggle coming out of the corners more than anywhere else. With the brakes, I've sort of fathomed that out because, well, actually, I'm a very light braker anyway, so when I brake quite gently, it actually benefits me with this controller because I'm actually braking at a nice amount of pace. So going into turn 1, right on cue there, able to keep a nice tight apex for the first corner, and now we're chasing down Jorge Lorenzo. So think about the controller. That is going to be part of this season. This is a factor of what's making this challenging, and of course no electronics and power setting 1 will certainly keep us on our toes this season. So quick update from the top left hand corner of your screen there. Lorenzo leading the way, the number 99, of course Marco Melandri, which is us, in second place, and Casey Stoner currently on the podium with the factory Ducati. 2 Hondas there from 4th and 6th with Pedrosa and Dovizioso. Colin Edwards in 5th, the second of the Yamahas. Antonio Elias in 7th, with Loris Capirossi on the Suzuki down in 8th place. Now, I don't see a certain 9 times world champion, Valentino Rossi. Where on earth is Rossi? Something must have gone wrong for Valentino there. So the factory Yamaha is leading the way, but his teammate nowhere to be seen at this stage of the race. And I do fear Lorenzo's going to start pulling away from him. I don't really have that confidence yet with this bike and the controller, still fathoming things out. And I will be honest, I probably should have taken this a bit more seriously in the sense of practice and qualifying. But I did a couple of laps, seen that I was in pole, and thought, let's crack on. Let's get on with the racing. And you know what? I think it might have been a bad decision. So I might have to really dig down deep in this race, or just take the 20 points. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do the full season. I have posted on my pictures on the community posts on YouTube here, and I've explained what championship rounds we're doing. We're doing 11 rounds rather than the full 17. It was extremely difficult for me to decide which track would make it and which track wouldn't, but I've tried to keep things relatively fair and interesting for the championship, so I do hope that's okay with you guys. My only concern is that we don't get this championship done and another one planned before MotoGP 23 arrives, because let's be honest, if MotoGP 23 arrives, we're not going to be touching 22 again. So we need to get these done. I'm super excited to keep making these content for you, and I'm really excited to see what we can do in this season, because it's 11 rounds are going to make things even more intense, and I just can't wait to make those videos for you. But back to the action. We are closing in now on the Spaniard. The man from Montmello himself, of course, Jorge Lorenzo. We are beginning to close in. Got to avoid the wheelie there going into turn 8 and then back across into the right-hander for turn 9. Now, the last time I came here to Qatar using bikes similar to these with Sete Gibernau, and we've pretty much dominated that race after a following for quite a while. And that was also with power setting 1, so the difference here for me is rather massive. I probably should be leading this one right now, but I'm happy where we are for the time being. And we are closing in to the eventual 5 times world champion, of course. Not a MotoGP champion at this stage of 2009. As we now go to the left-hand side, I'm going to try and keep it in tight to the apex turn 15. He cost himself a lot of time there. And we are now in the prime opportunity for not quite overtaking, because I went a little bit deep there for turn 16, but we have a great opportunity for getting some slipstream. And that is what we're looking for here. Get into the slipstream, pick up the extra speed, and across the line, we could be looking at the fastest man on the circuit. We are a 1:53.687. Goes from the number 33. We're braking extremely late into turn 1. Goodness me, I couldn't have gone any later. If I went any later there, we would have absolutely battered into the rear of Jorge. So thankfully we didn't make contact, but we are still on the cusp of attacking, and that's a prime example of where I'm bringing the acceleration on. For me, I only pressed the controller at halfway, but actually equaled a full amount of acceleration. So if you do tend to see me bringing on a lot of power coming out these corners, just assume it is me struggling with the right trigger on the DualSense controller. But never mind about that, no more struggling now. Up on the inside, Lorenzo ran it deep. He has yielded the position as the Italian takes over the front. What a debut for us with the Kawasaki. What a debut indeed. Brilliant start for us. Pole position, and now we're looking like we're going to win this race. Well, of course, two and a half laps to go. Of course, certainly not going to be over and done with, but you have to say things as you see them. And right now, leading the way after putting the pressure onto the number 99, we look pretty damn good at this stage of the Grand Prix. Now losing a bit of time there going into the left-hander for turn 11, and now into turn 12, and then back over for the double apex right-hander for 13, then back across for 14. Not bad. Good positioning, keep on the track. Oh, a quick look behind me just to make sure that no one was too close. We did make a small error there, and I just noticed Casey Stoner, I think Colin Edwards wasn't that far behind either. Danny Pedrosa might be in there as well. Looking at the graphic in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, it does look like a lot of the riders are bunched together, all in this battle for the podium. We're going to try and keep away from possible slipstreams. But across the line, we are still leading the way by 0.3 of a second, even with the lowest power option. We're in power saving mode right now at this point, and yet we're looking pretty damn unbeatable. So with that lap time, we did lose a lot of time compared to the previous lap. It was most importantly just getting the job done. Of course, overtaking and battling does cost you a lot of time when racing, but it's not really too much of an issue when we're leading the way. The lap times don't matter as long as the gap behind doesn't keep diminishing. Bringing on the power too early again there, as a matter of fact. Small problems, small acceleration issues is what's going to cost me a lot of time here. I'm pushing forwards on the analog stick a lot as well, because I know with the extra power that we're bringing on unintentionally, it's going to cause the front wheel to lift. There's Lorenzo, bit of contact from the Yamaha to the Kawasaki. We've said that many times in Superbike, but right now into MotoGP, we've not mentioned a Kawasaki for, 14 years. So no pressure, Marco Melandri. This is the opportunity. This is where I'm going to lose a lot of time here, because the AI are so strong coming out of the corner. And of course, we don't have that power setting as well, so it's a little bit out of shape on the brakes. Oh no, what? What a save! Good lord! That might have been the longest save I've ever had in MotoGP 22. How long did the last one? Dovizioso's down. The Repsol Honda ahead of us after watching and witnessing a man save an incredible crash, almost a potential crash, should I say, has just gone down himself in the left-hand side there. Oh my goodness, we were leading this race. We had it signed, sealed and delivered. And now unfortunately, after making that massive blunder, we've now got to do all that work again. And you know what? That's completely thrown my confidence. I don't think I can brake that gently again. Well, I didn't brake that hard. It's just that the controller's sensitivity with the trigger equals a lot more braking force. I cannot believe we actually stayed up on board the bike there. That was unbelievable. Thank goodness we stayed on board. That would have been a disastrous start. It's already a disaster because now we've lost the championship lead, we've lost the race lead. Everything has gone heck to a handbasket here, but we're getting late on the brakes. Gooey squeeze up on the inside of Pedrosa. Colin Edwards is looking at his first podium this season. Great season starter for Edwards. Of course, not been on the factory Yamaha in a while, but the Tech 3 Yamaha looking pretty solid here in the first round of the 2009 season. So we now brake to the right hander for turn 9. This is where I'm going to get a little bit concerned now. Losing time. But we're not quite out of it yet. There's a podium still up for grabs here, ladies and gentlemen. But we are going to approach the moment that just cost us the lead. Gentle on the brakes this time, please, Doctor. Not bad. Little bit deep, though, into turn 12. That's cost us time. If we don't get through by, what, the penultimate corner, I would say that's curtains. Turn 14, turn 15. This is the corner we need to be making big moves. And we're not close enough. It's going to be a 5th. I don't think we can do any better than this because bear in mind, we are on power setting 1. How the hell do we pass any of those with this first option of power? It's not going to happen. I think Lorenzo's going to hold on, but Stone is going to finish in 2nd with Colin Edwards on the podium. Danny Pedrosa in 4th, and we come home in a somewhat disappointing 5th, but also not a bad start. So how about that then, guys? Great start to our 2009 season. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Championship standings are exactly the same here, so I'm not going to bother showing you that, but my goodness, what a save. I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below, and if you really did, be sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing, and consider becoming a member of the DrAce pit crew. And upon that note, I'll see you tomorrow for another excellent video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.